Yeah, hi there. These comments are for W, and this is Michael. I am the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at Stealth, the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT, and thank you for completing, it looks like, my integrated practice test number 7. And let's take a look at what you wrote. First of all, you say the passage was about the pros and cons of using which passage? Do you mean the reading passage and the listening passage? I think you want to be clearer than just saying passage. You say hybrid cars, economical than gas engines. You want to say are more economical than gas engines. Then you have a comma. You say we find that hybrid cars on the highway they use 39 while gas is used as 35. Yeah, we got a lot of trouble with this. I would recommend is you want to probably organize, instead of one paragraph, I think you need 5. In the first paragraph, you can simply state the purpose of the reading passage in the lecture. That's it. Then in paragraph 2, you want to talk about the first key point from the reading passage, and then you talk about the first key point from the listening passage, and you show how the listening is different from that. For example, if you take a look at the actual reading passage, we can see here it says the first advantage of having a hybrid is fuel economy. And it gives the example of the Toyota Camry, which gets it talks about how a hybrid Camry gets 43 miles per gallon in the city and then 39 on the highway, right? I think that is important to point out, I think, in that second reading passage. Now what's interesting is the counterpoint to that idea from the lecture says is that a lot of the gasoline-powered cars nowadays are becoming more competitive to these hybrid cars. And in the actual lecture, it gives the example, I think, of the 2013 Volkswagen TDI-W, and it gets 43 miles per gallon on the highway. It also gives another example, the Ford EcoBoost, which has 20% better fuel efficiency now. So they're saying that these gasoline and diesel-powered cars, they're competing better now with the hybrid cars than they were in the past. Right? So that's what you want to say in your second paragraph, which you really didn't say at all. Now, the next thing is, I think the second key point, according to the reading passage, is hybrid cars reduce emissions because they're not using as much fuel, which is a good thing, right? So it's a lot less harmful to the environment. That was the key point in the reading passage. You want to mention this in your third paragraph. And then you say something like, on the other hand, according to the listening passage, electricity is needed to produce hybrid cars, and in order to get electricity, we have to either use coal, gas, or some other fossil-burning fuel, which is harmful for the environment. So I think the listening passage is saying that hybrid cars aren't as beneficial to the environment as they seem. And that's what you want to point out, I think, in that next paragraph there. Now, when we get to the third point, in the reading passage, it talks about the battery technology for hybrid cars has significantly improved, and it talks about the makers Honda, Ford, Chevrolet, and Nissan, and how the batteries are a lot more dependable now, and they're lasting a lot longer. I think those were the key points, I think, from the reading passage regarding improved battery technology. On the other hand, the listening passage has two disagreements with the battery idea. It says, number one, the battery is very heavy, so the cars actually don't get as good a gas mileage as they say they do because the weight of the battery makes the car burn more gas. That was one point. You want to point that out. That's very, very important. Now, the second point is batteries don't last forever, and if the battery needs to be replaced, it's very costly, and any savings that you might get with the gas, it may be offset by the price you have to spend on buying a new battery. So I think according to the listening passage, the batteries maybe aren't as good as the reading passage is saying because they're too heavy and they don't last forever and they're very expensive to be replaced. So those are the key ideas. These are things that you definitely want to point out. And I'm looking at your response. You have really just one short paragraph, and you're not really making all the required connections that you need to make between the reading and the listening passage. And even in this short paragraph, you have a lot of problems with sentence formation and a lot of problems with word choice. So what do? It looks like you need a lot more practice, I think, with your writing skills, with your writing proficiency. So if you get some free time between now and the final exam, take more integrated writing practice tests. You can take them anytime you want, 24 hours a day. After you complete the integrated writing practice test, make sure you send me an email, and I'll make sure my teaching assistant grades it in a timely manner. So I think right now you need more practice with the integrated writing. You've only done 2 so far. You probably need to do 6 or 7 more before the final exam, and you'll probably do much better on the final exam if you complete several different writing practice tests between now and the final. That would be my advice on that. So how are you going to score on this particular practice test? Your score here is not going to be good. You might want to sit down for this. I'm going to put you at 1.75 out of 5. You're looking at about 12 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. You really have a lot of trouble summarizing other people's ideas. You're not giving credit. You're not explaining. The reading passage says, the listening passage says, and all of that. So some things that you can do right now based on your score is start taking more integrated writing practice tests, obviously, right? You can also check out my listening lesson 1.1, listening lesson number 3, number 4, number 7, number 8, and number 11. With my reading lessons, you can focus on reading lesson 8, 10, 11, 14, and 15. And with grammar lessons, you can take a look at lesson number 1, number 1.1, number 2, and number 3. And you'll see the links in here when you look at them. You'll see in the YouTube video I have a PDF file which will show you exactly why I gave you the score I did, and it shows you which lessons that you can review in order to strengthen your English proficiency. Alrighty? Now for the purposes of our class, 1.75 out of 5, that's going to put you at 61% out of 100 on this particular writing assignment. So you just didn't really do the job, I'll be honest with you. Your response was way short of what you needed to do. Alright? Anyway, have a great day, and thank you for completing the writing assignment.